Hello, Alicia here. I hope this video finds you well. I'm glad you're here at my channel where we talk all things boudoir, books, and being my favorite self after 40. And I want to talk to you about a book I read recently. Now, I want you to ask you a question. Could you, if you were, let's say, in Vegas walking around and this producer comes up to you and was like, hey, I'm from a show and I think you and the person you're talking to should get married. hmm And we're going to record it. Would you be down for that? You've been drinking. So what do you say? You say yes. This is the premise of The 90-Day Husband by Alanna Richardson. So let's get into it. Picture this. Your name is Tanisha, right? And you have just won an award, a culinary award, and you have been given a plane ticket to Las Vegas to go and celebrate that you won this award by mixing Southern and Korean food. Mind you, they're very similar, especially with the fried chicken. If you know, you know. Okay. Now, when you go, you tell the people, hey, I can't have my face shown for my reasons. The reason is you've been dealing with DV. Your ex-boyfriend, who doesn't want to be an ex-boyfriend, decided that he was going to put his hands on you. And so you ran. And now he's coming after you. On the other side of that, you have Igor. Igor, and I might be saying his name wrong because he's Russian. Igor has been told, voluntold, that he is going to marry this young lady. He has a 20-carat diamond engagement ring in a vault sitting for her. He's only met her like 10 or 11 times. His sister is like, I don't think you should do it, bro. Like, I really don't. And he's like, I have to because when my daddy died, I promised him that I would do this. His daddy died 3 years ago. He'd been holding on to that promise for 3 years and he's finally ready to do it. And he's like, let me just have like one big last hurrah, in Vegas, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna get the ring together, and we're gonna go to this girl house and get married. One thing leads to another, and he meets Tanisha, and unfortunately, or fortunately for them, when they go and they're sitting at a bar, a producer comes up from a very popular show where they do all types of things, different pranks and things like that. And for this time, they're like, hey, would you two like to get married? And they look at each other and they're like, why the fuck not? They've been drinking, one thing leads to another. They get married. The next day they wake up. She's already up. Okay. She's an early riser. She has a food truck. And he wakes up and is like, oh, my hand is kind of heavy on my left side. What's going on? And he realizes that he has a ring there. And then she says, yeah, we got married and it's on 4K. Like you can watch it. You can actually watch it on TV because we did that. Now, he is a business mogul worth billions of dollars. Okay? B with the billions. So everything that he does is going to be news fodder. This is news fodder, right? And so because of that, her face is now splashed all over the web. 3 million people have seen it. And so she is like, look, and he's like, what's going on? Like, let me take you home. Let's have a conversation about this. I'm in Texas. I think she's in Tennessee. And Igor is like, you know what? Let me get you on my private plane because I got it like that. And let's have a conversation. Let's get lawyers involved. Right. And so they do. And the lawyer is like, listen, yeah, so you might not want to get this annulled because based on what I know about the person that you were supposed to marry, that you've only seen 10 or 11 times, this is going to cause you to lose business because her father is going to paint you as this heartthrob who's going around, scavenging women off of the streets of Las Vegas and getting married, which means that he's reckless in business. Now, again, you own a very popular business, and Igor is like, oh, so I can't do that. And so like, can you be my wife for like 90 days? And she's like, yeah, I can do that. But let me give you some information of what I want from you if you want me to do this. Now, the lawyer is impressed. She was like, okay, girl, I see you reading all the pages and shit and giving me counter offers. I'm here for it. Get what you need and let's get it. And so she does that and he agrees. One thing leads to another. Of course, they fall in love. one thing also leads to another where she starts to see how people are really like the nice, nasty kind, the upper echelon of the Texas people. And he tries to keep her away from that. And she's like, listen, my name's Natasha, Big Tasha, if you're nasty. Okay. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it. Like, I deal with pretentious men like this. Like, I'm a chef. Are you kidding me? Don't worry about it. And what I loved, I'm not even gonna get into the review yet, but anyway, so he tries to, take care of her. Of course, she does let him, but she also has to tell him, like, hey, there's a guy who can't take no for an answer. And so he might just pop the fuck up. And what does he do? He pops the fuck up. Now, Igor is like, I got you. This is my head of security. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Whatever you need, I'll even put extra people on you. I got it. Don't worry about it. And he does come through in the end because that nigga did pop up. He popped up at her grandmama's house, tried to break bad. And what happened? He got his shit broke himself. Now, let's get into the actual story. My review. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about this book, okay? Because that I normally read black, black ass characters with one black woman's and one black man. Sometimes three or four black men and one black woman. But this was an interracial romance, billionaire interracial romance, and I appreciated it because Tanisha was on her shit. Okay, there's a part in the story where the man who she was supposed to marry, Igor was supposed to marry the guy's daughter. He tries to embarrass her, right? Not try to embarrass the man who was promised to his damn daughter. He tries to embarrass the wife, which was like, what? Men and their little brains. But anyway, and instead of her getting embarrassed, she told him about himself. That his wife tried to break bad. She told her about herself in front of the company and then gave them a history lesson. And I was like, yes, talk your shit. Because when they try to go low, take that shit to hell. Okay? We're not trying to be Miss Obama and saying we go high. Fuck that. Go to hell. Okay? Take them so low that you hit ice. Okay. So I appreciated that she wasn't like a wilting flower. She really was like, you thought, and I'm going to show you why you cannot be in my space and think I'm the one, the two, or the three. And I also appreciated that consent was a part of this story. I think a lot of authors miss conversations around consent. And it doesn't have to be like, oh, do I have consent to touch you? It was, he knew that she was a DV victim. And so when there was a part in the book where they had to pretend as if they were, together because this 90-day, husband situation, he said to her, may I touch your hand as we go out? Because he knew they were going to be captured on cameras and things like that. And she said yes. And I appreciated that because, and sometimes in these books, that's not something that's thought of, like those little things. And I'm like, yes, I love when, I guess, what's her name? Alanna Richardson maybe had a sensitivity reader or something like that, beta readers. I love that because those little things, especially when it comes to domestic violence in these stories, those little things are very important. And so that I loved. I also loved how he was willing to like just sit and listen to what she had to say without trying to make choices for her. And it showed, even though he was portrayed as like this cold businessman, it showed his level of curiosity about her. And so you knew that he really was interested in her as a human being and not just as someone to say, hey, 90 days, let's get it done. And, we go our separate ways. Like he really was like, I kind of like you. I do. I kind of like you, as a person. Yeah, I like you, to be my wife because you're gorgeous, body is tea, but I actually do like you as a person and you are a fabulous businesswoman. And so I'm very interested in learning more about you. And I appreciated that. Like I thought that was for me a really good take on when I read, if I do read interracial stories, like sometimes there seems to be something missing, but I felt like this was a really good way to one, have a Black woman who is not really deemed like strong. Like, you don't see her as a strong person, but you see her standing up for herself. You see her giving her history of her family against people who are obviously bigoted. And you see this person who's like, I'm going to let you fight your battles, but I'm going to be there for you if you need me to step in. But I see that you can handle yourself. And he took her word for it. When she said, I can handle myself, he said, hey, say less. It's your world. I'm just here in case you need me to pop off. So I appreciated that a great deal for that reason. Overall, I enjoy the book. There wasn't a lot of like witty banter in this book, which I did, I miss, I love witty banter in books. So that was the only thing. But they did have some really good conversations. I again appreciated that he saw her as a human being, a woman, and then saw her as someone else that could share his life with him. There was a little betrayal in here, which kind of like caught me off guard because I was like, damn. Mm, mm, mm. So that part, and I loved that even with that betrayal, there was a sense of, I am going to forgive you, and I know that you are sorry, and I'm going to hold space for us to really move through what happened, and also dealing with the hurt feelings from grief, and how that grief manifested into something else, and just all these things. Of course, there was therapy in here, which I appreciated, family therapy at that, and I was like, yes, as adults we need that as well. And so Alanna Richardson like did her thing in this book. She really did. So I'm definitely looking forward to more books. I'm gonna check to see if they're Alanna. Did I say Alan? What did I say? I don't even know what I say. Alanna Richardson. I hope I said Alanna Richardson, but I'm definitely gonna be looking for more of her work because I love the way that she wrote this story. So yeah, this was not my regular, blackety black book, but I did love the main character, Tanisha, because she was on her shit. Okay? He wasn't going to outdo her. So as always, this is on Kindle Unlimited, but if you can afford it, give the girls their coins. Make sure you leave positive reviews on all the platforms, Goodreads, um, Kindle, Amazon, so the girls can get their coins and let other people read it and want to read it. And, let me know what you think. Like, what are some other interracial, love stories that you think I should read, that you think I would really like, especially some with some witty banter. Like that's the one thing I wish this book had a little bit more of is the banter. As always, you are your longest and most expensive relationship. Any money or time that you spend on being your favorite version of yourself is never money or time wasted, especially when you're buying books. That's all I got. All right, until next time.